everyone. Welcome to The Token and the Truth. I am Drea Renee, and this is...
Schmim and Freddie B, you already know what it is.
Oh, Freddie,
Yeah.
did you change your hair?
Nah, I just watched it.
It looks like you changed it. I like the new look. It's kind of a new look, right?
Yeah, it always does that. It'll look a certain way, and then it'll gradually get scruffy, and then I'll freshly wash it, and then it'll go back looking different, and then it's kind of like a spectrum. It works its way down the spectrum, and I wash it, and it brings it back.
Well, I like that I'm wearing black with the pink background, and then I think you're wearing pink with the black background.
It's more like coral.
Okay, salmon, coral, whatever. Yeah. But it works. I like that we're like the opposites because we're so opposite on so many things. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you follow us on The Token and the Truth on Instagram. We'll still be figuring out our YouTube, which we will getting going very soon. I'm a little out of it today, but we're going to do this going on with dating advice coming from me, Drea Renee, and Freddie B. You guys already know if you've been watching our podcast that me and Freddie tend to be not on always the same page, right, Freddie?
Very, very different. Very, very different. I think as far as who's winning the pulling of the other person to the other side, I think that I'm winning a little bit in that world. But we shall see.
Always a competition.
That's my masculine energy reverberating forward. Everything is a competition. I am very competitive. I got the Mamba mentality. I'm like Jordan in The Last Dance.
Oh, okay. Yeah, whatever. I don't know about that.
Exactly. You saw The Last Dance. You saw how he is.
Yeah, I saw how he is. Listen, there are some things that we've spoken about that I've been like, oh, okay. You've had a few, maybe 1% moments where you thought, okay, I understand. Very rarely do we agree, but sometimes we're on the same page. Like shockingly though, with Eboni K. Williams. And I sent you, if you guys watched our last episode, we talked about Eboni K. Williams, who did an interview with Ayanna Van Zandt, where she said she wouldn't date a bus driver. And the internet went on full attack of this woman for saying that. And Freddie, I sent you that other video where she sort of went into defense of what she said with Charlemagne and Envy. Did you watch that?
Yeah, I did, and she sounded very angry. She's like, and very mad, and obviously, I don't like to just use that word. I don't want to put a black woman into the angry black woman trope.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't want to do that because I get it. I get it. But if you watched it, if you've seen Eboni K. Williams, she looked mad. She looked very mad, and
I understand why she was mad though.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I get it. The internet came down on it, and and the thing is that if you really believe what you said, then you're gonna get defensive. And I also get it. She's older. When you get older, you get a little more stuck in your ways, and you more so want to fight off people coming at you for your beliefs instead of maybe listening. And I think the thing is she should have done a little more listening, a little more listening to what people were saying. Yes. And also, I think that she moved the goalposts. She moved. I like I said, I get why she was mad because a lot of people came at her, but she didn't move the goalposts to like she want black people and specifically black men to raise their standards and be stronger and this, that, and the third. And the original conversation that's not what it was about. You made it into this whole black unity and black culture rising above and being better as a whole.
People did in the comments, Freddie. They said to her that she was breaking down the black man and bringing down the black community by making these comments about. And first of all, they just said
I didn't see that.
Bus driver. That's all they said. She just said, would you date a bus driver? I don't really know. Like Ayanna Van Zandt didn't say, would you date a black bus driver? She just said bus driver. But for some reason, this conversation in which she speaks to this fact turned into an issue about it being only a black man that's driving this bus. And now she's bringing down the black community. And I just felt like people did attack her. And she even said, listen, my comments are not for everyone's feelings. Like I'm not trying to protect everybody's feelings. I was asked a question. That's the thing. She was asked a question and she answered how she felt. And then everybody wanted to attack to her like she was coming down on the average working class, and she was not trying to do that. She was just saying for her lifestyle, her preference. Why is everyone so pressed about people's preferences? But on that note, Freddie, I will say I went to a gathering the other day and someone was talking about online dating, right? And so it's a woman going through the profiles, looking at the height, looking at the thing, looking at all these things, right? And a group of women were going, oh my God, absolutely not. Don't do this. And I'm just kind of listening because now I've kind of just, I like peep some things first now before I jump in. Don't do this. It says this. This is his height, yada, 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 right? And I'm listening and I'm looking at these women thinking like everyone's beautiful in their own right, right? But flip the switch. And I thought if a man was sort of listing up his preferences in front of a bunch of women, we would definitely be like, oh my God, that guy's a fucking asshole. Like, how can he say these things? But here we are going, well, if he's this height, he's out of here. And this one girl said, and she wasn't even that tall. She was like, well, I only date 6-foot guys. I only date the tallies. And I was like, okay, if I was listening to a man say, oh, I don't date fat chicks. I'm not doing all of that. She got to be this way. We'd all be like, excuse me? You know? So with that being said, I feel like people are pressed for people having preferences, like strong preferences, right? And men aren't necessarily allowed to voice those things because you will be canceled very quickly. And so now I think it's sort of like Eboni voiced her preference financially or whatever that is, and now she's getting a lot of backlash when, yeah, naturally, if a man said that, then it would be even worse. It would even be worse for sure. And I'm positive about that.
You kind of left me speechless there, Drea. See, like, it's crazy how much you've grown so much.
Oh my God, Freddie, stop it!
You've been really growing. I'm really proud of you. I'm very impressed.
Oh my God,
I think if you continue to go down this road, we will have a podcast where we'll hop on and then we'll see you just talking like this nonstop with bling blow, and they'd be like, Dre, what's that on your finger? What's that big rock? Oh, I'm getting married. Boom. And then you have this, who you get married to? This great guy who got this money, doing this, doing that, and your whole demeanor will change. Look, and I've seen it happen too many times.
Oh my
I'm gonna put it out there. About Eboni, it's interesting that I think people there was some guys who took it personal. They shouldn't have taken it personal because I don't understand how people take things personal when you're taking things personal from somebody who doesn't know you. Like, how do you get offended? How do you get mad? How do you get angry when somebody who does not know you says something? They're not talking to you. They don't even know you exist. How you take it personal? That blows my mind how somebody can do that. But the part that really just confuses me with Eboni is that, people took it personal, and, she was talking about how people we switched. You trying to switch it?
I was trying to do it for you, where you're the main. There we go.
Yeah, you got it. Like, Drea trying to be producer now.
I tried. I was like, what's going on here?
Right. But with Eboni, it's interesting how, she pointed out how people got emotional about what she said, and then she in turn got emotional. She in turn got even more emotional, which I get it, and I'm fine with it because she's a woman. Women they lead with their emotions. They're led by emotions, but that's just the pot calling the kettle black. And the thing is that her having that conversation, what she should have said is just point out the fact that people went down this black way, and she could just say like, hey, this has nothing to do with black people, because that's not what the original conversation was. Bring it back to the original conversation, is that I want the owner of the bus company, and I don't want the bus driver. I want the owner, because I have money and I have a lot of means, and I'm not going to submit to a man who has less means than me. I'm not going to do it. So he has to have more means. And so if he can't be a bus driver, have more means, and just call a spade a spade. But the thing is, that's being direct and saying the truth. And a lot of women don't want to go down that road just to simply say, hey, look, And I get it. Like you say, there is no more discussion. Nobody can come at a woman about her preferences or anything if she just succinctly and directly say, hey, look, I am not going to respect, I am not going to submit to a man who has less means than me. It's not going to happen. I make $2 million a year. So that man has to exceed that. And then that is what it is. You can't dispute that. You can't say, well, no, you still should consider a 500. No, she shouldn't, because she literally just told you she's not going to submit to that man. So she's going to make that man a life a living hell. So no, let her deal with,
or vice versa.
No, I mean, like, no.
Yes, 100% that is possible, that he could make your
No,
life.
no. We know if a woman says, I will not respect and submit to a man who has less means than me, if she explicitly says that, and then you say, and then we have an example of she makes $2 million a year, she meets a man who makes $400K a year, we know for a fact she will make his life a living hell, because he will not be respected in the house. We know for a fact, because she just said, because that woman, this hypothetical woman, just said she will not respect that man. So his life will be a living hell.
But right.
This hypothetical woman that I'm speaking of said that. Vice versa, we don't know. That man could or could not make her life. We don't know, because now if that hypothetical man then said, if I meet a woman that makes demonstratively more money than me, I will make her life a living hell. Then we can say that. But in Eboni's case, she should have just said what it was, but she was trying to achieve it. She tried to dance around everything, dance around. She said something, and the thing is that's where a lot of people come into problems. You say something, but you can't explain why you said it. You can't address why you said it, and that's the thing. Like, if you can say why and explain succinctly and directly and explicitly, I felt like she why you said something,
address it, what people were saying, and then they just went some other way.
While I'm speaking about Eboni in the interview with Ayanna, when Ayanna asked her and they had the whole conversation, and like I said, Eboni spoke, she said some other things that were kind of like, Eboni, I don't know about that. But if she had said, hey, look, I feel this way because I don't want to, like, more than I just don't want a man that's a bus driver. Because it's one thing, I just don't want that. Then it's like, well, why not? Because what I was saying was, the key thing is, if that was her in a vacuum, we had a dinner party and I'm just having a conversation with her, it's not recorded, nobody is gonna hear this conversation, and she just said that to me, or she just said that, or y'all two having a conversation, and she just said it to y'all, and she said, I just don't want a bus driver. Cool, fine. Cool, I have no qualms with that. Live your life. But it's the fact that, one, she's a celebrity, two, she's on a public forum and she's saying these things. It's a lot of people that's going to hear her. There's a lot of women who are on the fence, who they're trying to find themselves. They're trying to understand life, and they happen to see this and they're fans of Eboni K. Williams. She says that, then they start thinking like, you know what? I was kind of thinking I don't want a blue collar man like that. Yeah, like, why should I? And they go down that road. That's what I have a problem with. And she didn't explain it. That's what I have a problem with.
I get that you have a problem with that. And I feel like a lot of people are easily impressionable. They're on the internet. They hear these people saying things, but I don't think that much responsibility. And I get it. You have to be careful with your words, but like, to put all of that on someone, I just think that's insane. That's why we have all of what? Put all of that on society, that Eboni K says, she doesn't want to date a bus driver. Then all these women are like, I don't want to date a bus driver either. But that just is all encompassing to everything. Social media, the rappers, the baddies, and all this stuff, where everybody's coming at the gate trying to do all these things to themselves, thinking this is going to get them a hot girl or a hot guy or whatever. And everybody's just all screwed up. Everybody's all screwed up. But I personally don't feel like Eboni K. Williams said anything wrong for what was for her. And then everyone took it to this other place. I understand why she got so angry. She's sitting on a forum with a guy. I don't know. You didn't see the whole interview with Envy and Charlemagne, but Envy wasn't even letting her speak. So as she's trying to fight to speak, she's getting more and more visibly upset. And he's twisting things that she said and she didn't say. He's saying, you're upsetting all these people. And these are the people that are buying your books, listening to our show. You're offending them. And I'm offended because you're offending them. Just sort of pushing this narrative. And that's when she was like, this is bullshit. That's not what she's trying to do. The question was, would I date a bus driver? That's my preference. And now everybody's feelings are hurt. So
and that part I can see how that could go down the line. But like I said, I think when you're having like big conversations and deep conversations, deep as in far reaching, this is a far reaching conversation that she had with originally how this all kicked off with Ayala, who she would date, this woman saying that we're talking about relationship, we're talking mating and dating. Mating and dating is the point of all this. If we stop mating, and dating, the world ends.
The
If
world ends.
men stop getting with women and having babies, the world ends. It's that serious. And so when you're having those conversations, you got to be a little more responsible. And as a celebrity, you're in the public eye, you're on a public forum. It's the internet being shot out to the masses. You have to be more responsible with the things that you're saying. And the thing is responsible from the standpoint of when you say something, be able to explain what you mean. I wouldn't date a bus driver and make it plain. Like, I wouldn't do it because I don't want to do it because not just I don't want to do it and that's it, and just throw that out there to a bunch of impressionable people who gonna run with that. And then we have a whole nother generation, whole nother swath of people who they gonna just look down on bus driver when it's like, sweetheart, why is you and your big back self looking down on a bus driver? You should be grateful that this bus driver even like you, ma'am. Things like that.
Freddie. Oh my God, not the big back.
I just saw this thing on the Shade Room. The Shade Room, millions of followers. And it's funny, I get it, but you got a bunch of women. I think what you sent it to me, right? About unbigging my back for the summer, and I'm not gonna unbig my back for the summer, and I can't do it. So y'all gonna get me and all this back. And it's like all these women just embracing being big. And it's like, I remember I sent you the clip. Of that one, the guy asking the woman, like, why do we have to accept women being big, but we don't accept men being broke?
Did you send me that? The white guys?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, not beautiful. I don't know if he said big. Well, I guess he did mention weight. Yeah, that was actually an interesting thing that you sent to me. And I think he said, what's the pressure? Is there more pressure to be successful, or is there more pressure on women to be beautiful? And again, a lot of these topics just honestly haven't crossed my mind. We talked about what do women have to do on dates versus what do men have to do on dates. And as someone who's dating, it's like, it's very interesting, what you show up with, what you show up as, your conversation topics, what you're looking at from the man. And listen, like I said to you last time we did this, there are some men I've spoken to who are very angry about it. And there's men who are angry. There's men who are in acceptance and say, hey, look, this is just what it is. There's some men who are in acceptance of their part in the beginning, but then also have expectations of the woman's part once the relationship gets moving further. So this is the clip, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We can play it.
This is the clip right here that we are referring to.
On women to be.
All right, I'll turn this. Is it playing?
Beautiful.
I think there's more pressure on men only because.
Is it playing?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not at the beginning though.
Because for women, that's more of a choice if we want to try to be beautiful. Whereas a man, he kind of has to be successful to get anywhere in life.
So the average man's salary in the U.S. is $40,000. The average woman in the U.S. weighs 170 pounds. Why is there a fat acceptance movement for women?
I think
But there's no broke acceptance movement for men.
Oh.
I don't.
Okay.
So
First of all,
there you go.
Real quick, this show is a little bit biased because they get these very young, inexperienced women and they ask them these very deep questions. Now, on one hand, I understand why they choose these women because this is the generation coming up now. Like these women in their early 20s, mid 20s, they have some very interesting answers.
Look at you, Dre. You grow.
Freddie,
look at you. Oh my God, this is impressive.
Very biased though. It's very
You're
biased.
Right.
this
You're
show
right. I
is.
agree.
They're
I
not
agree.
getting grown women with experience to answer these questions.
Them,
Now, listen,
them women, you know, yeah, you're right.
but I will take a little nibble from something that you've said. If men are getting their sort of, manness from providing and their resources and things, why would there be a broke acceptance? Now, I don't know if it's a direct correlation to say the fat acceptance and the broke acceptance is the same. I don't know, but I do understand the movement of I'm a queen, accept me as I am. I'm going to gain weight. It is what it is. Like, I don't want to hear anything about it, accepting that all women are beautiful. Now, I think some of this push, in my opinion, comes from years and years of women being like oppressed and suppressed, and your sexual energy has to go away and you got to do all these things. And some women are just straight rebelling against that. They're like, I'm not doing that. I'm going to be who I want to be, whatever. And there are these, as you love to say, these outlier situations where there are women and men who really don't care about this kind of thing. Now, look, I don't know what this is going to look like with these women in their young 20s who are just sleeping with anything and everything all the time. Like, that generation, they do not care. They're just like, oh, he came over, we hooked up. And I'm like, did you, I said, what? Like, nobody cares, right? So I don't know what this is going to look like, because those women that are like young and doing that, they're going to be even younger women doing that. So those men that are getting older, it's like, that's what everyone's doing. Nobody has these same ideas necessarily around body count and sexual energy. So I think there's a lot of pushback from women of being so oppressed for many years, I think. And so that's what you're getting. And now men are kind of like clapping back because they're angry about it. And these men that are like, the men that just aren't getting a lot of attention, maybe the shorter guys, like, why is there not a movement for short acceptance? I don't know. But there's a lot more pressure on men to sort of show up in these ways in relationships. And I understand the frustration, especially depending on the age range, depending on your resources. If you are looking at all these women with these expectations and you're kind of like, well, what are you doing? Why is it okay for you to do X, but I can't do Y? So I do understand that a lot more, but I do think this particular clip is biased because this girl is like 12 years old. Like, what does she even know? I'm just saying. Okay.
Yes. This page, it's ran by men, so obviously, like, that's where they go and they ask the question. So I mean, all media has a bias, so this has a bias.
Yeah.
And yes, it talks to majority of the women. The vast majority of the women that they interview are the younger women, the impressionable women that are watching, looking at these older women and being influenced by these older women, because this next generation is coming up and coming into the world is going to carry the world, the women that they talk to. So it makes sense on one hand, but then also on the flip side, it's like, like they have a mental aptitude that's a little bit greater than these women. But I saw it and it made me think just overall, because the thing is, the reason why he equated the money for a man and the looks for a woman, because those are the two hooks. Those are things that usually hook the other sex. Looks for a woman hook men. It doesn't keep a man, but it hooks them.
Yeah.
Money for a man hooks women. It doesn't keep the woman, but it will hook her. So, if a woman goes out and she see one guy, he pulls up in a Lambo, he dressed to the nines, designer, everything, haircut, you see he got this, he might not have anything flashy, but that woman could tell, like, that t-shirt, that black t-shirt looks different. That don't look like a black t-shirt I normally see. It looks shiny and look illustrious and luxurious. That must be some money. He got some Saint Laurent, some Louboutin shoes on. Like, he got all this. Like, he's obviously a man of means. That is why men wear these try to flashy things, to show that they have money, to have like the shiny things and all that type of stuff, because that catches the eye of a woman, that hooks a woman. And then it's like, okay, who you are, all these types of things will keep her. Vice versa. That's why you see women online hashtag thirst traps. They got the breast out, the booty out, the looks, they got the filters, because the looks hook the men. May not keep them, but it hooks them. Now, vice versa, a man looks doesn't really hook. It might get a woman to look, but it doesn't hook her. like
Right.
resources do. So that's why he's saying that. So we talking about what hooks the opposite sex. And so the thing is what he just said, the average weight for a woman is continuously going up in America. The average salary for a man is not continuously going down. You know what I mean? And so there isn't a broke. It's not like, oh, he ain't got no money. It's fine. Don't talk about him. Don't ridicule him, girl. He's just da 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 da. It's like you ain't got no money. No pay, no play. What are you talking about? If you ain't got no money, like you can't take me out. Like, what are we doing? Like, you know, you can go that way. Let me go with him. And that's accepted. But if a woman is big, like with Lizzo had the audacity to post online how she jumped in the DMs of Captain America. And everybody was like, yeah, girl, you do that thing. Like, yeah, girl, you can do it. Be confident. And it's like, what? And the dude couldn't say nothing. I think it was Chris Evans. Whoever's Captain America was.
I mean, what can you say?
Huh?
I said, yeah, like what can he say?
Right, he can't say nothing, but vice versa. Let's say a dude who's the fry cook at McDonald's, you know, but he went viral one time. He went viral for saving somebody's life online, and then he went viral. Everybody knew him, and then right after that, he posted how, hey, y'all, I went viral. You know, even though I'm the fry cook at McDonald's, look, I jumped in the DMs of Rihanna.
Ooh.
I jumped in DMs
yeah.
I jumped in DMs of Rihanna. I'm gonna get me a date with her. People be like, man, oh wait. People would check him quick, like, bro, you went viral. Your 15 minutes of fame almost up. You work at McDonald's. Relax. He would get smacked down. Women be like, please stop it. Find you a chick around your way. He would get smacked down quick.
I mean, I don't, you know.
Yeah. Go explain this one for your fellow women. Go ahead. I'll wait.
Okay. What I will say is back to my previous point is that I feel there's just a very strong energy that women have dealt with for many years of you better do this, you better do that, get in the kitchen, you can't this, women can't vote, women can't blah, 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 you can't be sexy, listen to your man. And there's a very strong energy of women that are just like, we're not doing that anymore. And I also feel like that does seep into things. But it's also like, don't talk to a woman like that. Be nice to a woman, be a gentleman. And I feel like because men are so conditioned to be strong and to take it, and that's that, it feels easier to say that to a guy like, hey man, stay in your lane. What are you talking about? But Lizzo's obviously a celebrity. That's what it is. But I will say you'll see things online where there's like maybe a woman that has a couple pounds on her or whatever. And if she says something, the comments versus the other way, you know, it just is what it is. So I don't know.
May have a couple of pounds on her, right? Exactly. So, but that's the world we live in.
You can't come at a woman like that. You can't say, Lizzo, hey girl, you ain't my type, because that will go viral in itself, and that guy's never working in Hollywood again.
And right, and the thing is I'm not even advocating for like, okay, men need to come down on Lizzo and check her. Obviously. What I'm saying is other women need to be like, Lizzo, sweetheart, okay, let's pull it.
That's not happening. It's you.
I'm not even saying
do it.
See, the thing is, I'm not even saying call out on a weight or anything. I'm just saying women just like Lizzo. Wait, whoa. You my girl. I rock. You my man. 20 grand. I rock with you. But Lizzo, bring it back, boo.
Bring it back.
Bring it back. Stop. Relax now. Relax. You know, relax, Lizzo. And every now and again, let Lizzo know, like, hey, you know, you need to lose some weight. And here's the thing. Like, people talk about Lizzo. We talk about losing weight, all the type of stuff. People will be like, yeah, I don't hear y'all saying nothing. DJ Khaled. I just seen a meme where it's Larry King.
True.
Yeah, I'm like, men talk about DJ Khaled all the damn time. And Rick Ross. Rick Ross
that's hard for sure.
That's why Rick Ross lost weight. Rick Ross used to be huge. He lost weight. That's exactly why he lost weight. He lost weight because of his health, but also like us men would roast him and DJ Khaled. So I don't get this part where people be like, y'all just want to come at women. Like, no, she fat. Anybody fat, that's not healthy. Like, regardless of it, like fat, obese, overweight, that's not where you should be. And even outside of, and then people bring up over outliers. Well, I know my homegirl, she fat, she in great health. That's wonderful. I'm happy for your homegirl. But here's the thing: excess weight is not good on your joints. As you get older, that's not good on your bones and your joints. You're gonna tear your body up, and you ain't gonna be able to walk, and then your health really gonna decline. So that's what I'm gonna say about that. But let's we're 30 minutes in. Let's go to our topic,
Which
giving
is,
the opposite sex advice on how to date you. And when I say you, I mean like to my general you.
obviously, we know it's the general you, but
Yes, we're not trying to go down that road again.
I imagine will come from some experience because that's how it goes.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, as two people who have dated in our lives and had many experiences, I think we have a little bit of knowledge under our belt. I would like for you to go first, Freddie.
You want me to go first? Okay, so
Yes,
what I do is I post this on I actually just posted it on my Facebook, and I'm gonna pull up some of the things that have been posted thus far.
Okay.
Can you guys see that? All right, so I think you got, let me blow this up a little bit. All right. All right, so the first one, I got my man Jade. I don't know, I'm assuming it's a joke. So I'm thinking he's playing, but he said less talking, more cooking.
Okay. All right.
Less talking, more cooking. And so here's what I'll say about that. What I'll say about that is I think there's a little bit of something here, not to this extent, not to less talking, more cooking. I'm not gonna say it in a caveman way, a Neanderthal way like that. But what I will say is cooking is a lost art with the generation behind us. These younger girls coming up, cooking is a lost art, and cooking is a valuable tool in your tool belt as a woman. Keeping a man. It's a valuable tool, keeping a man. So you want to add that to your tool belt, ladies. That's what I would say. I'm not gonna say less talking, not less talking. I want to hear what you got to say. Me personally, I want to hear what you got to say, but more cooking, 100%. This one.
Oh, go ahead. Okay.
Oh, did you want to? You had something to say?
Speaking of not talking, go ahead. I'll wait.
Okay.
I'll make a note.
This next one, which is getting a little bit of love, like I said, just posted it. Kiana Pope said no WYD text, basically text lingo for what you doing, what are you doing, or whatever like that. I agree. I think that's very lame and juvenile and sophomore. If as a this is a woman speaking to a man. As a man, if you just send it, what are you doing? I think that's a problem. Now, with that being said, like I'm speaking on the male side of point of view. With that being said, women say they want this, but then as a man, when you then text and you then give them more, then you run into the women. It's like you damned if you do, damned if you don't. You run into the women like, oh, okay, oh, he giving me too much. I don't know. It's he doing too much. He pressed, and then it's like it's too much because maybe this becomes the norm and this is what you're expecting. And then you have a man who like, hey, what's going on? How you doing? I just and goes into his day and asks about your day or whatever the case may be. So you got to remember, be careful what you wish for. There's a reason why that's a popular saying. Be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. It's a popular saying because people wish for things and then when they get it, they don't know what to do with it. So I'm going to say that there, but I agree with her there. William Elston, he came on the show a couple of episodes ago. Stop looking for someone to take care of you when you can't even take care of you. And so I think that's I think there's some validity there.
Really, with everything that you talk about.
Wait, no, yeah, I'm about to explain. I think there's some validity there. Okay. Some validity there.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Now, the thing is that stop. You say call me Kevin? Look, it's amazing how you bring up Kevin Samuels way more than me. But I think there's some validity here. And here's the thing, because this is a man talking to a woman. There are some women who are destitute, they have no oomph, they have no support of themselves. Because the thing is, as a woman, when we talk about traditional, and what I'm talking about, a woman to support, a woman should be supporting and submitting, submission, under his mission, supporting his mission and driving it forward. If you are a woman how can you do that when you don't even know what that means to even drive something forward? Because you can't drive nothing forward in your own life. You just sitting with your hands folded, just waiting on a man. You're not developing anything in yourself. So I will say that as far as what he's saying. Now, as a woman, a man is supposed to provide and protect you. He's supposed to take care of you, make sure you're good, make sure that he's supposed to be that person that if you need something, as a woman, you have somebody to go to. You can go to your husband and get that answer, get whatever, whether it's resources, like I said, financially, physically, emotionally, intellectually, spiritually. Those 5 areas, as a woman, you should be able to go. If you hit a wall, you should be able to go to your man and he gets you through that wall. That's what happened. If you have a man that cannot get you through the wall in those 5 areas, you need to get a new man. And that just is what it is. And so I think it kind of, I wish we can get Elston on, but I would love to hear his take on this. But I think there's something. I think he has a point. This me. I said, I put what I said. I said confidence. I think that, I mean, that's one of some things, but a confident woman, a woman being confident in how she moves. Yeah, I mean, I'm speaking to women. Yeah, I'm not speaking about me. I'm speaking to women. A woman being confident in how she moves, in her femininity, like having a handle on her, because that's where a woman's power lies. A woman's power does not lie in her trying to be a man and harboring masculine energy. Her power lies in her femininity, and when she's confident in her femininity, she moves and knows that's unshakable, that you can't change it, you can't damage it, and then that just requires respect. You have to respect her. You can't come to her with no BS, and nor do you want to come to her with any BS, because she is regal. That's when you see these women that are regal, just in their femininity, and they're feminine women. They're not threatening. They're not here to compete with you. They're not here to threaten you and make you scared of any of that. They're just them. They're running a race alone, and they're number one. They've already won because they're running their own race. They don't even see you. You can come in, do whatever, but they like, hey, when you come, you come. Thank you for coming. Are you ready to go? Okay, I'll see you later. They're not stressed because their femininity is intact and they're confident. When they're with their men, they move confident because they know they have the answers, because they know that they've watched this man, they studied this man. They know that they have that wherewithal to get those answers. So when they act and they move, they know it's right on time. They know it's money. I don't need to do all this. I know how to push his button, pull the levers. I know how to stroke his ego when it needs to be stroked, but I also know how to communicate to him and tell him, like, hey, when I'm not in a good place, when I don't like something, and I can just tell him. And my regalness will reverberate. Even my silence will reverberate. I'm silent for too long, then it moves the room, it moves the house. People are like, wait, why is mommy? Why is my wife? Why is your wife silent? Like something might be up. She's regal, and he knows, like, okay, I need to get this together. And he go to my wife, find out what's up, because she's been silent too long. She's not herself, or whatever the case may be. Confidence. Let's go down. My man, Big Red, Christopher Crowder. Be honest with yourself and the other party. I mean, yeah, that's a man speaking to a woman. You know, he's married. Yeah, I mean, obviously, honesty is the best policy. Be honest with yourself so that you can be honest with the other person. Christy. Very beautiful woman, that she's on Facebook with Facebook friends. She said communication efforts, compliments, and laughing together. That works for her. Also letting her cook for them. She's a very feminine woman as well. And also love languages. That's key. Learning your other partner's love language. And, you know, meeting them there. Like, okay, doing things to speak to their love language, and communication is key. Communication rules a nation. You know, Pimp, when I was a kid, told me that.
Rules a nation. Agree.
Exactly. Compliments. Yeah. As a man, yeah, you definitely want to compliment your woman and let her know, like, different things and reassure her. That's important. And, you know, oh yeah, if you can make a woman laugh, you can make her do anything. So that is important. She said, letting me cook for them. What man is not letting his woman cook for them?
One that does cook himself, which happens.
Oh, okay. But I can't imagine, like, okay, you don't cook for me. I don't get that part. But Chris also said you can't change anyone. Mindy said be consistent, creative, and ask questions. Be open about how you really feel and have fun. Be consistent. Yeah, consistency is key. Women want you to be consistent. Hopefully positively consistent, not negatively consistent.
Okay.
And creative and ask questions. Ask questions. I think that might be just indicative of her. I'll say that. But
anyway,
I think she's on point. Don't compromise. So that's what I got so far in there.
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, let's go back. The cooking thing. So this is one of those submission things, I feel like. And I feel like women now will hear that and it feels antiquated. And I think a lot of women may feel like if you are coming at me as in I have to, I should, or that's the way it is, my way or the highway. And I'm not always even saying that that's how it is, but that's what it feels like. And I think this goes back to what I was saying earlier about this image of where a woman needs to be, and that's the only place she can be to be successful. And then when people feel like that's their only option, I'm not saying that it is, but these comments can make someone feel like you're putting them in a cage. Listen, I've had many conversations with women, and this is one of the things. So you do some of these things for a man in that way, and it feels nice because and I always use this word, organically happens. I've been in a position where I was cooking for my ex every single day. I freaking loved it. It was great. I loved like having it ready for him and doing it. It was this great thing. But never once did I feel like, and I know what you're going to say. I know you're going to say, I'm not saying this, but I think for me, in these positions and doing these things, I've done them. But as soon as anyone makes a person feel like this is the only way, you have to, I feel like this is where the one, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it. Now, I enjoyed it even more because I knew that it made him happy, but it was just something that just sort of organically happened. There was no conversation about it. And look, sometimes he did cook for me and had things ready for me as well, which was also nice. There was like a little bit of a give and take. I didn't feel any less about him, or I don't think he felt any less about me because these roles were switched. I get the importance of saying that, like, you should know how to cook. I think you should just know how to cook for yourself. If you do cook for your man, great. But I don't know, that cooking thing, learn how to cook. It's a lost art for women. It just sounds so archaic. It just does. And I'm from Texas, where they say, I mean, I was talking to my cousin the other day on the phone, and he was like, so you still single? Andrea, you know how to cook? And I was like, what is this, the 1950s? Like, I'm just saying, that's the only way to keep a man is you got to know how to cook. And I'm like, I can't hear these conversations. I can't.
What's wrong with the 1950s, though?
Anything that makes me feel like I'm in a cage of doing something, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do it. I just don't, that doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. Now, these things, we have a natural flow. It's working for everybody. Cool. But that intense energy of that, where I got to feel free. I got to just be able to be Drea in all facets with compromise in a relationship. And if it works for me and my partner, great. But if it's a matter of this hard box of you have to stay there, it just isn't going to work for me. So that's the major thing I wanted to comment on of your advice. Everything else, I mess with that. A woman that's confident, I think that's very attractive. Confident, and that I agree with. Confidence, absolutely. What is this? What statistic is this that you just pulled up? What is this?
So you mentioned 1950. What is this? The 1950s, and it is interesting that you said the 1950s, because if you look, right before the 1950s is kind of when like it was the initial seedlings of feminism started. Right before that, you see that spike in marriage rates, the spike in marriage rates, and even compared to now, you see now, like now we're right here, way lower than back then, the marriage rates. So if you notice, marriage rates back then were way higher than they are now, and I think we all can agree that, generally speaking, like that the household was stronger back then. Marriage rates was higher back then. Household was stronger back then, and times were better back then than they are now. Like now,
that's an opinion. That's an opinion.
It is opinion based on. I'm not just saying that just because I feel like it. the reason why I'm saying that is because how often and how many times have you heard somebody say like, man, I'm so scared to bring a child into this world nowadays? Or people, younger people like, man.
Many reasons. That's for many reasons. And what I want to speak to on your statistic, Freddie, is that the idea of what you're supposed to do, and this is how fast you do it, has changed. This 1950s idea was you go to college, maybe, or maybe you don't have to go to college. You get married quickly. You have a baby. That's all you're good for. Get married, have a baby, go.
That's all you're good for. Wait, why you say that?
Because that was the idea. That's what women are supposed to do. That's what you're taught. Men, you go out.
That's what people are supposed to do. Get married. Man find a wife. Wife find a husband.
Well, that's not what everybody wants to do, Freddie, because these things put you in a box. You're not experiencing all the types of things in life, and people get put into a little hole, and they end up getting divorced later anyway. Most of my friends that got married right out of college, even right out of high school, in their 40s, people are getting divorced. They didn't get to do what they wanted to do. They want to go out and explore and do things. I feel like I was like, didn't get to like really be who I truly wanted to be. These things are happening. And it's not so taboo now to get a divorce and go be happy. Now, I get what you're saying about the family structure. Yes, the family structure is dying and it is not good. I understand that. But my thing is, how do we marry the ideas of letting people be happy? Because there was a lot of people that were very unhappy. A lot of old people that I know have just been together. They stayed together, but they hate each other. And now people are discovering you don't have to do that. So obviously divorce is way higher because it was looked at as a certain way too. Like no matter what, you stay together, your husband's cheating on you, no matter what, your wife's cheating on you, just stay with them, just stay with them, just stay with them. Now people are realizing they don't have to do that. They're finding love later. They're being really happy later because they really know what they want versus the society's idea of just hurry up and do it. Hurry up and do it. And a lot of people will tell you and that's why so many people will say, wait to get married, wait to get married. Wait, even older people say that. I've heard older people say that. So there's a reason for that. That's why our society has changed. And I'm not saying it's great necessarily for the family structure.
So let me ask you this.
Be happier.
Let me ask you, do you feel like our society from 1950s to now has changed for the better or worse?
Well, this current little last patch has been interesting. This little last patch. And I'm not going to speak about why I think it's out of control because that's not what our show is about. We're going to keep it focused.
Right. I'm just saying, you think it's a change for the better or worse? You ain't got to tell me why, but do you think society is
right now
for the better or the worse?
We're out of control. We're a little out of control. Things it's opening up too much where I'm like, all right, we gotta bring it back a little bit.
And all of this goes back to the family structure, the family unit, familial unit. All this goes back. When you have strong family units, you don't have a lot of this out of orderness, this craziness.
We are out of order. We're out of order.
This chaos. You got chaos in the world because you got chaos in the home. You got chaotic home structures that are not structured. You got single family, like people are being praised of being single parents, all these different types of situations in the home, so where we're not having nuclear unit families, and that's the base. And people bring up outliers and like, well, look at this person. Like I'm an outlier. I was raised in a single family home, but I'm not gonna tell you. You would never hear me trumpet and support like, yeah, single family homes, they can produce great people. They produce me, but I'm an outlier. I understand I'm an outlier, and so I know majority of people will not follow the path that I followed. It won't happen. And so I will tell anybody, no, you should not. A single parent household is not good. I'm not going to celebrate it. Never will. And that is the issue. And the thing is, going back to what you said, getting a divorce and getting married, people stuck together, there's also a thing that people learn. They learn like now, the first inclination, like it was a meme that was funny that was floating around. They were talking about how a woman would be single for so long that when she finally do get a relationship, she'll break up for the silliest of things. Like, oh my God, he left the cap off the toothpaste. I ain't got to take this. I'm out.
I saw that.
Yeah, and it's funny. It's so funny because it's true. It's so much truth in it. People nowadays, they'll be married and be with somebody, and this person do this little small thing. Like, I am not about to deal with this. Girl, I am worth too much. I know my worth. I'm not gonna deal with this or this man, and so I'm out. You spend your little you go down. You can do drive-through divorces. You go spend your little $300, bing bang bow, and you out. Less than a year, you out.
This is what I'm saying. I think we've gone too far into the space of everything goes. Everything, anything goes. Now, I don't know if there's a way to bring it back because we're so out of pocket at this point that, yeah, what that's going to look like in 30 years, I don't know. Like people are going to be walking around married to, I don't know.
Married to dogs, who knows? But here's the thing. What I will say is, I think to that point, there's something to be said about somebody who's married to somebody, and all these different things are going on, and they stay married because as people, you have to figure it out. You actually learn, and you learn so much about yourself and the other person when you go through hell with that person, and y'all are like on the outs, but y'all stay together. Y'all stick it through and stay married. And so the thing is, like nowadays, people talk about, like, well, people were so unhappy. When you get married, you're gonna be unhappy. Anybody out there thinking you're gonna get married?
You're gonna be unhappy, but Freddie, sometimes people cannot reconcile and they do not want to be together anymore.
No, you can. Like it's amazing what we as humans. The only time I would say, like, okay, get a divorce if your life is in danger. If your life is in danger, then you gotta go.
Insanely unhappy with someone, you cannot get it back. You think you just stick it out? Like you've tried.
You figure it out.
You did the things. No, I don't agree with you.
You figure it out. That's what I'm saying.
To be laying next to someone you do not want to be next to.
What does that mean though? You just don't want to like that's what I'm saying. What?
I can't speak to these situations, but if let's just say hypothetically, you're with someone, they don't want to try. You're trying. You're like, let's go to therapy. Let's do this. Let's go on a vacation. What do you need? Let's even have a threesome. I don't know. Like, let's spice up our marriage. And this person, I'm like, you pulling all the stops out. You're like, what do you need? And that person's like, no, I don't want to do it. Like, what are you supposed to do? You supposed to stay there and stick it out? Tell this person
no, that's when you change the conversation. Like, okay, let's have a new conversation. Like, hey, look, I want to be with you. Things aren't working, and you get into their mind. Like, what's going on? Like, you're staunch. You're staunch into what you're doing. You don't want to do these things. We're obviously having trouble. Like, do you want to be here?
And if they say no, Freddie, you still supposed to keep fighting for that person.
If they say no, then they leave.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. These things happen, Freddie.
I'm speaking because you're speaking to me, right? You're speaking to me and what I'm doing and what I would do.
I know what you would do, Freddie. I know what you would do. I'm very.
But I'm saying, like, somebody like me, like if I'm in a wedding, they say the death do you part. That's blood in, blood out.
Freddie, I'm not saying I don't agree with you. I do.
Blood in, blood out. And so if I'm gonna go that far, but the thing is what I will say is I think this disconnect that we're having is a microcosm of the difference between men and women. I think this is a learning experience. This is a very important. This is a very actually poignant and deep moment in probably any conversation we've had. I would say, to be honest, and I think like this philosophy and this mind that where you're speaking from, I think where you're speaking from is honest and it's true. Mm-hmm. Where I'm speaking from is honest and it's true. And I think that this point in time, this is something probably need to bottle that little piece up, because when men go into marriage, we truly go into blood in, blood out. Women go in like, I want to be here and it's going good. I want to be here, but there can get to a point to where like, yeah, this doesn't work for me anymore. And I want to leave. A man would be like, this doesn't work for me anymore, but I'm not going nowhere.
Freddie, you cannot speak for all men and say that. Men leave women. What are you talking about?
I didn't, Drea, once again, I've never said all, every, or
you said any. Men. Like
men, generally speaking. Yeah,
generally speaking, men are okay.
Yes, generally speaking, how men are wired. Men are wired off accomplishments. Men operate off accomplishment, what we accomplish. That's how we operate. That's how we're wired as a man. That is our animal instinct. Our animal instinct is accomplishment.
So divorce is mostly just women leaving their men.
Yes.
Freddie.
70% of divorces are filed by who?
Do we know why?
No. 70%, like, no. We're not even getting to why.
Well, why is it important, Freddie? Why is it important? Why is it important?
No, not to what I just said. What I just said is because I said what we just said. What we just said is what I said is I'm in there. If I marry you, blood in, blood out, I'm there and there for the long haul, blood
Right,
in,
and I'm
blood out.
not
It don't
saying
matter.
it's
It don't
not a
matter
bad
what's going on,
philosophy.
what's
I think
happening.
that's great.
I'm there.
Yeah. Well,
And
Freddie,
what
if
you
you're
said is
committed to
that
being upset, if you're committed to being unhappy, if you're unhappy, if you're with somebody, I commend you on that. But I don't think that's the way to go.
that's my point. That's what I'm saying. Women's like, I'm unhappy, I'm leaving. And so then,
No,
but then
not if you tried. Not if you tried.
wait,
Don't just
time out.
leave.
Unhappy is relative. Would you not agree? Unhappy is very
Sure.
that's a large spectrum. What's
Unhappy.
unhappy to you?
Right.
Like,
Exactly. For sure.
right. When you get to your bar of unhappy, it might be 10 times what the next woman unhappy is.
Right.
Her unhappy is literally you leave the toilet seat up too many times. I can't deal with it. I'm unhappy. I'm out.
Well, that's the newer. I mean, people's patience is very thin, but that goes for both now. I'd say the new generation, not maybe older people, but I say that these new men coming up, you think they still have all these old ideas? I don't think so.
Because we
I
don't
don't
have
think
to.
so.
They don't have to.
No, they don't.
Women don't require it. Women don't require men to have
Why
these
can't you
old school
say it
values.
like it's on the women that
But
we're the reason.
am I correct? Do
Freddie,
women
I don't
require
think that
men?
you can say that it's the woman's fault that our society is going in
Okay,
this direction.
let me ask you this.
But is that
Do
what you're
women
saying?
do women require men to be men of old?
No, it's all changed now. It's all changed. But I don't
So
think anybody requires anything. The same thing. Men aren't showing up demanding certain things from women either. It's not the same.
No, yeah.
We're ready. You think a 20-year-old man is walking around going, "Oh, my woman better be feminine." They don't give a. They don't care. Like they're not thinking about
What you said? A 20-year-old man?
Yeah,
A
25.
20-year-old man just trying to poke on something. He don't care what you are, as long as you look good to
Whatever,
him.
Freddie. Well, you think the 20-year-old woman should be looking for her husband. So I don't know. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
that's insane, Freddie. Oh my God.
A 20, well, I mean, more so 21, but 21,
Whatever.
22, 23, 24, 25, more so mid 20s. But the thing is that.
And we only have a few more minutes before I got to go and I got to give my advice. Oh God, I got to go. Oh my gosh. I got to go soon.
Go ahead.
Okay. So for me, my dating advice, and I literally have 3 minutes. I think knowing what's important to you is very, very important. Like, what is it that you want when you're going out?
So you're speaking to men. You're saying to men what's important to men?
Oh, I thought we were giving dating advice for each. Oh, for men. God.
No, yeah, you're speaking to men.
That's why I was confused on yours. I was like, wait, is this okay? That's why. Dating advice for men. Okay. Be consistent. Be consistent. Be open to communication, because I think in my experience, a lot of times men don't want to talk about anything ever. I think that is an important key in a relationship. Rupture and repair. Don't leave it all on the woman to sort of like navigate all the emotional battles of a relationship. I think it's important if a man's like, "Hey, babe, we need to talk about something." Not leaving all of that on the woman, in my opinion, is very important. But I think the main thing is just being consistent and honest about where you are in terms of a relationship. So if you're in a space where you don't really want to be in a relationship and you're trying to like poke everything around, I think being honest about that is so important, and say it from the jump. That's my biggest advice to men, because, and also, and this is so simple. If you want to have sex with a woman, don't try to have sex with a woman and she will have sex with you. Very, very simple. Because there's so many men out there who are trying to put the woman's hand on their penis, and it's like, we know where it is. But the easiest way to have sex with a woman is to not try and have sex with a woman. End of the story. That's all
Up until a certain point, I'm assuming.
I mean, obviously, up until a certain point, I'm just talking in beginning stages of dating. Do not come off like you've never had sex in your entire life, because women can smell that. But as soon as we think someone is not trying to come for us, we're like, excuse me. I mean, it's pretty much across the board. I've heard that that's a thing. So that's some advice, a little secret I'm giving to all the men out there.
Wait, no, good. Talk more about that. What you just said, go deeper.
Well, I don't have time to go deeper, Freddie, but it's usually the case with women. That's just kind of how that goes. If we think that you aren't coming for us in a way that's like, you're trying to get it real quick, or you don't care about us or anything like that, just that overt sexual nature in the beginning, that is very unattractive to women. Unless she's giving you the green light and she's like, hey, I'm here for a hookup. Obviously, that's different. But if someone's really trying to date you and you're really trying to date them, do not try to have sex with them. That's just how that goes. It's true. It's true. And then the woman will be ripping your clothes off. 100%. It's very true. I feel like you want to say something about that, but we don't have time.
No, I'm I think that's why I put part 1, because I knew we were gonna have to have a part 2. I love hearing the difference between me and probably most men and women is when women start talking about how to win with them, men are like, tell us more. Yeah, what we do? What else we do?
God,
what else we do? Vice versa, a man is telling women how to wait. What? No, why we need to be chasing y'all? Like, no, we don't need to. Who cares? Like, why are you telling us what we need to do? Why do you think you are the prize? Why do you think we want you?
God,
I don't even want a man right now. I'm chasing the bag. And it's like,
okay, well, we have to do a part 2. It's 4:15. I have to go.
All right, guys. Well, thank y'all. We definitely got to do a part 1. Where the music at? Let me play the music. What the music? Is this the music right there?
Where's our music? Oh, we're doing it. Yes. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure
y'all follow us.
Subscribe. Do all the things.
It's at the bottom of our IG. You can link with us there. Our individuals is right here, guys. And part 2 of this got to come up because I want to hear more about how to get the women. And I'm sure all the other men want to know too.
I'm sure they do. Bye.